Hi, I'm Allison Hall, and I'm here with Senator Eric Oemig of the 45th Legislative District. Senator, you recently proposed a bill that would create a public funding system for local Supreme Court campaigns. Can you tell us a little bit about the significance of that bill?
Well, actually, Allison, I did the bill last year, and it's because of a recent U.S. Supreme Court decision that the bill has got a new attention.
How does this U.S. Supreme Court decision affect your bill here locally?
Well, the U.S. Supreme Court recently ruled in a split decision and overturning over 100 years of case law. They ruled that corporations can spend unlimited amounts of money in political spending. And what my bill does is it's about how we fund local Washington State Supreme Court justices. So you can see why, with the U.S. Supreme Court making one ruling on the one hand and a bill that I had here funding political campaigns and specifically Supreme Court justices locally, that there's a nexus there, that suddenly this bill has a new interest and a new scrutiny.
So it sounds like this national decision has created a lot of local attention on your bill.
Well, it's definitely created a lot of interest because, what are going to be the ramifications of this far-reaching, truly historic ruling that the U.S. Supreme Court has done? And if we don't get a handle on how we finance elections, I mean, that's a cornerstone of democracy. I really don't know how everything that we do in a democracy is hinged and predicated on a fair and honest election. And if we have concentration of wealth having undue influence in those, then we start to subvert some of the political processes. And over the last 200 years, our democracy has evolved with a give and take of responding to different types of media, technology, different ways of reaching out to voters, different ways of delivering messages. And now it turns out a whole new thing called a corporate entity, a corporation that never dies, that has great wealth concentrated in a single place. And corporations now also have foreign owners, shareholders who maybe ordinarily wouldn't be allowed to contributing through a corporation. That's the renewed interest in campaign financing, which brings us to my bill. The way we've set up the bill is candidates for Washington State Supreme Court would voluntarily opt in. So we don't run into any free speech issues because they make this choice. And what part of what this making this choice does is it says that those candidates will not take out-of-state money, they will not take corporate money, they will not take very large contributions from wealthy individuals. What they will do is they'll take small contributions from individuals who live in Washington State and are, Washington State citizens. By restricting it to community resources and community participation, then what we get is a court that's elected by the interests of Washington State. Now, what compels someone to make that choice to turn down all that money? Today they could turn down all that money, but it would, put them at a grave disadvantage in terms of fundraising. So, in exchange for making that choice and opting into the system and turning down those types of monies, what they get in exchange for it is they get matching funds. So when contributions come in from small donors, they get matched from a fund, and so their campaign is amply funded, but using community-raised money.
That makes sense.
Basically what we do is we take corporate giving, political action campaigns, so PACs, large PACs, and basically those PACs serve a function. They provide a service of collecting all sorts of money from different types of donors, sometimes corporations, sometimes individuals, but they aggregate all those donors, those monies together. And today we use taxpayer money to subsidize regulating those political contributions. And in my proposal, what we'd simply do is we take that same political money, put a fee on it to pay for the oversight, the regulation, to make sure everything's being legally reported, to make sure the money's all clean. And then we take a little piece of that fee and fund this judicial campaign. So in this system, basically, we end up with more community participation in using community money and minimizing out-of-state money, out-of-state influence, and certainly minimizing the corporate influence in the election of our Supreme Court justices, who should be impartial.
Great, thank you. Thank you for watching today. If you'd like to share your thoughts with Senator Oemig, please use the contact at the bottom of your screen. We'll see you next week.